to watch it again, or if anyone misses any workshop, you can always just email me and we'll send it over to you.
Can you put your email in the chat? I missed the tie-dye one, but I still have the stuff.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, you can email me. My email's on any of the handouts that I put in the boxes. So you can just email me and I'll send it over to you, the recording and all the steps. I have it all typed up. All right. So if everybody has their boxes ready, and if you haven't opened them up yet, you can do that now. I have all of my materials spread out here. We're making little cement coasters. They're super cute. Glitter. This is just an example. So your box, you should have your bag of cement. You should have 2 plastic cups. You should have a mixing stick. You should have a silicone mold like this. And these are awesome because you can reuse these as many times as you want. If you did the resin workshop with me and you like working with resin, this is also good if you ever make resin coasters. So hold on to these, don't lose them. We have sandpaper. We have our little bag of glitter. And then everyone kind of has different ones of these, but these are the little plastic nubs that are gonna go
on the bottom
of the coasters. Yeah, some people have felt ones, but some people have the plastic ones. So you should have 6 of them all together.
Yep.
All right. So if we're ready to get started, this is a quick workshop. There's really only about 5 steps that I can teach you. And then after that, it's about 30 minutes of drying time for the coasters. But I gave you enough cement and enough materials to make 2 coasters. So it's really quick and really easy. So it's also very fun. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. What you need that I didn't give you is you need a cup of water. So I just filled up, a normal glass like this. Doesn't matter how much because we're only gonna be using a little bit. We're just gonna be pouring in a little at a time. So you need a cup of water. I would get some paper towels if you need some, if you're prone to making messes, which I am. I have a mask because I know everybody probably has one of these laying around, but you don't want to breathe in the cement dust. It's really not good for you. I took mine off for a little bit when I was bagging all of these and I got like a little headache. So definitely wear a mask when you're working with cement.
Okay.
So I'll give you guys a chance to get that. All right. Just gonna clear my space here. And I'm gonna open up the chat just to see if anybody has any questions ever. Oh yeah, Sarah put in the instructions for me. So if anyone comes in late, they can just follow along on the chat right there. All right. All right, so we don't need our mask yet, but our first step, we're gonna take our mold and we're gonna be putting the glitter into the bottom of the mold down here. So how I did it on mine is I did kind of like a crescent moon shape with the glitter. I mean, you can do it however you want. If you want to just fill it up with glitter, just do like a nice thin layer, but I thought a nice like swooping moon shape was cute for this. So I'm gonna open up my glitter bag and you can do it however you want. If you want to pinch it, I'm just gonna kind of pour a little bit in like this. But make sure you save, I'm saving about half of it because we're gonna be making 2 coasters. So, but if you want to go crazy with it, be my guest. So once you put it in, you don't want it to be on there too thick. So just kind of like spread it out using your finger. Just make a nice thin layer so it's not layered too thick. You don't want it to be too thick in there. So just like that.
Maybe not. Doesn't look like it now anymore.
No, I just did random.
Okay.
Okay. Again, if anyone has any questions, just feel free to yell it out or type in the chat box. All right, so once we do that, I'm gonna put my mask on because our next step is
Jenny,
to pour the cement.
nice one.
Yes.
So we have 2 cups. We have 1 for each coaster. So I gave you enough cement for 2 coasters in this bag. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour half into this cup and half into this cup. You can just kind of eyeball it, or if you want to pour it all into one and then distribute it evenly, you can do that. But definitely wear a mask for this step because I don't want you guys breathing in the cement dust. All right. It might get a little messy. It's very fine. Right. So again, I'm gonna distribute it half and half. That looks about good. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So in the end, this should probably end up being a little more than you even need for your coaster. It's always better to have more than less, though. All right. So the next step is very important to go slow and mix vigorously. We're just going to be taking tiny, tiny bits of water at a time. We're going to be mixing it into this first cup of cement. The goal is to get it to about like a pancake mixture consistency. That's the best way I can explain it because it's very hard to give you the exact measurements because people might have different amount of cement. So I didn't want to give you a measurement. I just kind of eyeball it every time I do it. Just do like about a teaspoon at a time. So I'll show you how I do it first. Always start with less and work with more. You really do not need a lot at all. And make sure when you mix, see how it's all dry on the side still? You want to make sure you dig down and really get all of it.
Need a little more water.
I think so too. But
So definitely start with just a few drops and just see where that gets you after about, 10 seconds of mixing. See, mine's definitely way too dry still, so I'm gonna add just another couple drops. Again, we're trying to get that pancake mix consistency. So really put some elbow grease into it. And you don't want to get it too wet because if it gets too soupy, it's going to take a really long time to dry. Definitely going to add a little more. So I'm being very cautious with it. But it's also important to work quick because this is quick dry cement. All right, mine's starting to get a lot better. I'll show you. Kind of looks like this now, which is what you want it to look like. But there's still some clumps at the bottom, so keep mixing until you get all those clumps out. You don't want any dry spots. Sometimes you gotta stab it a little.
I think this one is too watery.
What was that?
I think this is like too watery. Can you see it?
Let me see. Let me zoom in on yours. Yeah, a little too watery. You can take some from your other cup and kind of mix it in. I just want to, hopefully you'll have enough for the second coaster, but you should be fine.
I definitely added way too much water too.
Okay.
It is
Like,
only,
eventually, like, or if you add too much.
if you added too much water, you might have to sacrifice one of your coasters and take some cement from the other one.
Yeah.
It's definitely tricky to get the hang of it.
Now, what happens when it starts to dry in the cup?
So definitely, okay, mine's starting to get a little dry too, so I'm gonna pour it into my mold now. So if you guys are all ready for that step.
Wait, can we see what it looks like before you pour it in?
Yep,
Yeah.
so mine is just kind of like a frosty consistency, like a frosty from McDonald's.
Mine's too thick.
Yep,
A little of that then here.
so I'm gonna pour mine in before it starts
Right.
to dry.
Oh my God.
Let me give you some of this.
Or you can make these as thick or as thin as you want. And it's okay if it's drying because it will settle. So I poured mine in. I'm gonna scoop the rest out. And once you have it poured in like this, mine's still a little clumpy, but how you get it to settle is you just kind of pick it up and drop it. Tap the sides and it'll start to settle on its own.
What if you put too much water?
Oh, just got some cement on my laptop. All right, how's everybody doing so far? Any issues? Awesome. All right, so keep dropping it, picking it up and dropping it, getting all those air bubbles out. Tap the sides a little. I see a few clumps in mine. I didn't do a great job mixing mine, but that's okay because once they dry, we have that sandpaper, so we can flatten out any of those bumps. But yeah, you want to just pick it up and drop it a few times. I can see the air bubbles coming to the surface, so that's a good sign. All right. So the water to cement ratio, I can't give you an exact number, honestly, but the way I just do it by eye, I can, it's called Cement All. That's the brand product that I use. So I could probably research it real quick about what the actual ratio is, but I just always eyeball it and it'll all dry. It might just take a little longer if yours was a little more soupy. So yeah, this will dry in mine took about 20 minutes, but I would give it 30 minutes to dry completely. And then you can pop it right out of the mold and you can use that sandpaper to sand down the sharp parts if you want it to be more smooth. So it's really easy too. It shouldn't be too hard. So just sand out these edges around the side. And then I sanded the bottom a little bit. And you have those plastic nubs. So each coaster is going to have 3 if you end up making your second coaster. So you just put them in a triangle shape. So 1, 2, 3, just like that. And you will have your adorable little glittery coaster.
So if I make my next one, if I put glitter on the top of it, will that affect it?
Do you mean while it's still drying?
Yeah, like right when I pour it in, if I put a little bit of glitter, will that mess it up?
Yeah. So this on the top right here is actually going to be the bottom.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
but you can put glitter on the bottom. That'd probably be cute too. Yeah, so it's fun working with cement because you really can put whatever you want in there. Like I've seen people put like dried flowers or, you know, confetti, glitter, anything you can think of. And also with resin too, if you guys ever get into resin working, these molds are perfect. They're silicone, so it won't stick. It's super fun. All right. So again, what time is it right now? We probably finished about 5:45. So I would say like 6:15, these should be ready to pop out. And you guys can stand them down and you can put your little sticky nibs on. And then you can repeat the process since we have this other cup of cement. So it's basically the same thing we did all over again. Just make sure you clean out the mold so there's no like dried cement in there. And then you could just repeat everything and make sure you wear a mask when you're working with the cement. All right, if anyone has any questions, I'll hang on for a